Welcome to Rider Nation Station, presented by American Manufacturing Solutions, your total logistics partner, investing in Rider Nation Station and St. Mary's, Ohio, and to our other fine sponsors.
Hello and welcome to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Mark, thanks for joining us again this week.
Zach, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Mark, we're done with the regular season. We're moving into the playoffs. Unfortunately, if there's a loss, there may be a couple other regular season games. Not sure if that's going to go on or not. Teams can play all the way out to week 10. Right. But for all practical matters speaking, we're into the playoffs. Rough Riders have Greenville this week. They had a great win against Salina last week. We have some clips from that we're going to go through here in a second.
Super.
Wanted to talk, though, we were talking before we got started here, you're actually going to be an official observer for the game Friday night.
Correct.
What does that entail?
Well, the OHSAA has basically decreed that if there's folks available, and you have to be a certified observer, to basically my job is to just come and observe the crew, point out any mechanical issues that may be a little deficient in the first half, meet with them at halftime to point a couple things out, if there are any, and there usually are, things that they can work on in the second half to get better, make comments, and those written comments are submitted to the director of athletic officiating or officials for football, and they compile those comments, and that's what brings out bulletins each week or things that need to be changed or worked on for next season.
So those are done during the regular season as well?
No, not necessarily. There's not enough guys, and there's no program, so to speak, to send officials to every regular season game in high school.
Right.
Normally it's just done during the playoffs, and there's a lot of guys, but this weekend some games won't get covered. There's just too many games, and there's not enough observers.
Well, it's easier in the playoffs because you have some divisions on Friday night, some divisions on Saturday night.
Correct, and there's a limited number of games available. Here,
right.
You've got, 680-some schools that are playing, so 340-plus games. We don't have enough observers to cover that sort of situation.
Right, a little more games available this year than any other year.
Correct.
So, well, thank you very much for that. So we're going to come back with some clips from the game on Friday night against Salina. We'll be back right after this.
American Manufacturing Solutions is proud to invest in St. Mary's and proud to sponsor Rough Rider football. Think AMS, think logistics, done right. AMS is your complete supply chain solutions provider. Have electrical service needs? AMS can take care of that too. Call us at 419-300-1007 or visit us at AmericanMFGSolutions.com.
Whether your goals include college education funding, retirement planning, generating income, or reducing taxes, at Glass Daringer Investment Management, we've got you covered. Stop in and speak with Jeff Daringer or Kevin Glass at 100 West Spring Street today. Glass Daringer Investment Management. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
For all your sporting good needs, visit Albert Sporting Goods at 121 West Spring Street, serving the St. Mary's community since 1980.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or AuglazEquipmentRental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. Thank you to all our sponsors for allowing us to bring you Rider Nation Station, whether it be the amazing soccer games that we've had the past couple of weeks or the football games that we try to bring you live every Friday night. We wouldn't be able to do that without our sponsors, so thank you very much to everybody that was able to sponsor us there. We're going to look at this first clip, Mark. This was early in the game. There weren't a lot of penalties during this game. No roughing the passer was called here, and I just wondered if you thought that was a good no call.
Initially, on the first look, the only thing that might be questionable there a little bit is the helmet contact with the forehead of the helmet. Was it enough? I probably wouldn't have called roughing there. I might have talked to the defender coming in to keep his helmet out of the mix. but it probably wasn't enough for roughing call.
Do you have to have the quarterback knocked to the ground?
No,
and
here's necessarily not.
Here's another angle of
Absolutely
it.
not.
From the back.
I've called roughing just on something like that, only a little bit rougher, so to speak. If he comes in there and he's giving the quarterback a shot for no reason, and the defender clearly knows that the ball is gone, and that one was pretty close.
Yeah.
Then I might have thrown a flag in past years, and I might have just talked to the kid. A lot of times, if we get something like that that's in between early, it stops all kinds of roughing possibilities for the remainder of the game.
Or I guess giving him a warning too, and just
and for that kid it's fine. But once you throw the flag on a foul like that, both teams know that you're looking, and we're not afraid to throw the flag.
Takes care of it for the whole team rather than just that player.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this next clip we have here was another no call, and this isn't a big deal, but I just kind of wanted to ask your opinion of it. The running back crosses the goal line and then gets tackled. Do they ever call a late hit like that?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, that's close. That's the defender was probably in the air, but by the time, and we're going to get a look at it here. Yeah, let's see that again if we could. Let's see where he comes from.
He comes from, I think, the
24
safety
coming
position.
Up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't drive through him. He committed and then went, uh-oh. We're already across the goal line, and yeah, I'm not really going to do it. That's not enough to draw a flag either, but it is possible to flag somebody for a late hit.
I see it more.
The ball's dead.
Yeah, I've seen it more where it just seems like the defender just gives a random push after the running back's already in the end zone.
Yeah, and sometimes that's frustration.
Yeah.
And that'll get a
that one
talk
wasn't
to.
as bad. He stepped into the hole. He looked like he was trying to make a play, just didn't know where he was, maybe on the field. But that just sparked my interest because I know we've seen it before where you get a kind of a
it looks worse than it was in that situation right there.
Right.
Yep.
So probably a good no call in that
and
particular
possibly a talk
situation.
From the official's point of view.
This next play here was a football that was fumbled out of bounds by Aiden Hinkle. It was really the only fumble by St. Mary's or for the first string offense.
Oh, sure. Fumbled it forward, too.
Wanted to talk about that. When an offensive player fumbles the ball forward, that ball does not get advanced. Is that correct?
Actually, the ball will be placed when they brought the football back into the field of play, back into the hash mark. It would have been put down probably about at the 15 and a half right there.
Okay,
we're out of bounds.
So you do get the ball where it goes out of
Absolutely
bounds.
you do.
Okay.
Assuming he wasn't down when he fumbled,
Okay.
and it looked like he was up, you get the ball where it goes out of bounds.
So the rule that it can't be advanced, it has to. If it would have been picked up, or no, it could still be advanced.
No, if the ball's in play, it's fine. Now, don't confuse that with the college rule.
Okay.
So there is a situation where the ball is fumbled forward out of bounds. It is brought back.
Is that college and NFL then?
College, I know for sure.
Okay.
NFL, I have no idea about.
Okay.
But you cannot fumble the ball forward out of bounds. It will be brought back to the spot of the fumble.
That must be what I was thinking of then.
Could be.
I think I said that wrong right here, and I think I said it wrong on Friday night when I was commentating on it. So in high school, you can fumble the ball out of bounds, and it will be advanced to that point where it goes out of bounds.
Now, here's the nuance. If you fumble it out of bounds forward on purpose, can't do that.
Okay.
Because then you have an illegal forward pass.
Okay.
So
it has to be in a...
So you get in that situation, we're running down in the quarter of the game, and we're trying to get to the front stakes or wherever, and we need get the ball out of bounds. So we'll just kind of fumble it and then hope it goes out of bounds to stop the clock, because the clock will stay stopped. So you have to recognize what it is. Now, clearly that was a fumble.
Right.
And there's no issues with that. But, within the last 4 minutes of a half or the game, officials have to be cognizant of that.
Needs to be a clear accidental fumble.
And quite honestly, most high school kids aren't wise enough, so to speak, to know that and do that. Some are.
Yeah.
Coldwater is pretty good about if they need the clock stopped, they will throw the ball backwards out of bounds.
Sure.
Which is perfectly legal and stops the clock.
Okay.
And the clock will stay stopped until the ball is snapped again. Perfectly fine. But you're giving up yardage to do that.
Okay.
So this is a forward deal. Can't fumble it out of bounds on purpose forward. Okay.
I'm glad we went over that since I didn't know the rule right either. So this next play here, this is another one that I didn't think it was that bad. But if you look down at the bottom of your screen, the wide receiver and the defensive back sort of get into a tussle here at the end of the play. If is that ever – can defensive holding be called there, or does it have to be a pass situation?
No,
for
it doesn't
defensive
have to be a
holding?
pass situation at all. I mean, the defender could lock up and it's clear the St. Mary's receiver is out to block, and they get tangled up. The ball
play
is
is far away.
play is far enough. It's
Yeah.
dead. It's whatever. Now, if you had a situation where that play was live, then the official might have to decide. All right, is there some fault here?
Okay.
Because they're tangled up, and it's the DB is not happy about being blocked.
Right.
And he's gonna he got wrapped up the St. Mary's receiver, and it got a little physical. But quite honestly, in this part of the state, Western Buckeye League, wherever, officials are probably going to let that go unless it was clearly something that was egregious.
And we talked about that before. Usually, got to be right in the middle of the play. And
there was nothing.
More.
There was no.
Or-
I don't think malice here, so to
Right,
speak.
or punching or something like
Correct.
that. That would be more
Correct. This is
harmful.
Western Buckeye League football. It shouldn't go beyond that.
Right.
But they're going to let that go and talk to both of them. probably.
Rivalry game, Mark, too.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. Yep.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to look at the final few clips here. And so we'll be back right after this.
Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily, open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. We try to bring you the official's point of view every week. Mark, this next play here was a false start call on St. Mary's. Seemed pretty obvious to me, but I just wanted your thoughts on it.
Yep. Sure looks like it. Looks like the right guard, right tackle. Right tackle is just lost his balance and fell forward. Missed the snap count a little bit, thought better of it, went, nope, too late. I'm going forward. I can't stop myself.
There weren't too many penalties called during the game, so we had to show you the ones when they
Right,
happened.
gotcha.
But they all seem to happen here at the end of the game in these kind of these succession here. So this next play was a couple plays later. Salina was punting, and we had a roughing the punter call. Also pretty obvious to me.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe got blocked into him.
Possibly.
Okay.
If we could see that again.
And we do have a end zone view for this as well.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I get that. It looks like the blocker is following him around and may have been part of that. But, time, distance in the game, things of that nature, probably should have been a little bit more careful as how you're coming in there. And so, yeah, it's going to get the flag. And whether it's a 5 or a 15, definitely a 15 because you're getting the plant leg.
Okay.
And if you're going to call that is the right call, the 15
And we saw them then get the 15 yards on that. This is actually a couple plays later then after they got the 15 yards. This was a pass interference call on St. Mary's. It's going to be at the top of your screen. I believe it's on number 10, Aiden Eigenbrod. And it's a little tough to see. It's pretty far up there.
Pretty far away. Do we have that?
We
from
do have
the end
another
zone?
angle for that.
Possibility. Now let's see if we catch it here.
Good job by Cooper Jones of buying some time and giving himself time to get the throw.
Yeah, what the official saw was the left hand of the defender on the back of the receiver. Now, that's not illegal per se. If he felt that there was a push or something like that, yeah, good call. If there was no push going on, it was just a hand just to get on the back of him. It looks to me like that might have been a push. Probably a good call.
Okay.
Probably a good call. Yep.
It was very far away from the St. Mary's sideline during the game, so it was a little tough for everybody to see. But
Right.
I thought that we could show it here for the fans because it was a little bit of a controversial call.
Sure.
Fortunately, St. Mary's was able to make a stop on this drive. This was one of the plays that they were able to stop, and there was no call on this play. Just wanted to wonder if it was a good no call for pass interference here. This is, again, Aiden Eidenbrod kind of getting a back for that penalty.
Yeah, if we can run that again. I don't think that's a bad call at all. I'm just looking at where the official might have been. Now, I think that was pretty good timing on the defender's part. I would have liked for the back judge to be on the end line on that, looking
Right.
into the field of play instead of having to turn around and follow it.
Here's the end zone view.
Yeah.
It seemed on the field like very good timing.
Yep, I think that's what you got. Great timing on the defender's part.
Right. Well, and it's always great to see a player who just got a penalty called against him for pass interference.
Yep.
Able to correct it and fix it in the same drive.
Stay aggressive. Yep.
Yep. This final clip here was I seem to find these every week, Mark, but the wingback for St. Mary's sort of starts to teeter and move, but they didn't call a false start. Now, it was towards the end of the game, so I don't know if they were trying to keep the play going, but St. Mary's was able to score on it too. So just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, he teetered early and then stopped and brought the head up. I don't think that's simulating the start of the snap. I think he was just tired of being down in the set position, is trying to relax a little bit there.
Yeah.
Does the rule say that you should stay still without moving hand or feet or things of that nature? Yes. Doesn't say anything about the head.
Okay.
But that wasn't done in a herky-jerky, I missed the count type fashion.
I almost wonder sometimes when I see something like that if the defender would react to it. If the defender jumps at that point, does that cause the official to think more about calling it?
In theory, it should not, but in a lot of cases, it does.
Right.
Or the defender will point. Judgment call then to whether we call something like that or not.
Okay.
Because, you get it the first time, and then any little twitch, the defenders start pointing. Well, so then you got to put stop to that. So
right.
It's a judgment call there, and depending time, distance, score of the game, maybe you call it, maybe you don't.
Well, Mark, that's all the clips that we have for today. I want to thank you again for coming.
It's always a pleasure.
As every week. We'll see you next week as we dissect some of the clips from Greenville. And join us every week for Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco, also the Doug Fry Show on Rider Nation Station. And, of course, we'll keep bringing you Friday night football games live as we can. And thanks again, Mark.
Good deal. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.